In the previous video on Hard Show, I added an additional details field which was only going to be visible in certain cases when existing medication or allergies were checked. The business has come back to us and said that they can further simplify the filling out of this form because only those applicants who are over age 65 need to provide those additional details. I've added an additional age field onto my form. And what I'd like to do now is go and have a look at how we can actually implement this more complex business rule. Let's have a look at the existing rule-based visibility rule. And as you can see, I have my two existing terms, but I can only OR them together. Or AND them together, but I can't do a combination. And in this case, I need a combination of ANDs and ORs in order to achieve the rule that I want. So I'm going to look at using the more sophisticated, but slightly more difficult to use script-based editor. Let's take a look at that. The first thing I'm going to do is add in the field that contains the person's age. I'm just going to double click on that, and that's added in a field that represents their age. And I'm going to say if their age is, and I could type this in or simply click on the operator, if their age is greater than or equal to 65, then we want them to fill in these additional details. And at this point you need to know a little bit about JavaScript, which is that in order to do an AND operator, a logical AND operator, you need two ampersands side by side. This is really just JavaScript, and the more you do know about JavaScript, the more powerful you'll be able to be. I'm going to open a bracket. I'm going to find my other condition. So if there is existing medication, and if that is equal to, and again, because this is JavaScript, I now need to know that I need to embed the true value in double quotes, because existing checkboxes, existing medication checkbox will return a string with the value of true in it, or, and the operator for OR is two vertical bars, or allergies equals true, and close the brackets. So if my age is greater than 65 and I either have existing medications or allergies, I will need to fill in the additional details box. While we're here, I'd like to show you something else. We're using an abbreviation of the actual name of the fields in order to make this JavaScript easy to use. The real value, which is known as the field reference, is displayed down here. So this is the name of the parameter, the age. This is the type of the parameter. At the moment, we only support raw values. We will support other types in time. And the field reference is how to get about finding that piece of data. And the little dot slashes indicate that this is actually, in order to find this data, you need to navigate upwards in the hierarchy and then down back into a particular section and then down to an actual value. The dependencies reference here actually serves two purposes. The first is that it allows us to abbreviate a very complex relative reference into a single easy to understand parameter. But the second is that it also injects a whole lot of code onto the age field to ensure that whenever the age field changes, this piece of JavaScript is refied. And the same applies to any of the other dependent fields. Whenever one of these changes, this calculation will fire. Let's go and have a look and see if all of this has worked. In the form now, if I select existing medication, I don't get my additional details because I haven't filled in my age yet. I will fill in my age as 48 and still nothing additional to add. However, if I was a little older and was age 65 or above, as I tab out of the field, at that point when all of the correct conditions are met, in other words, either 65 or older and either existing medication or allergies, at that point I get additional details to fill in. This has been just a very brief introduction into the power of the scripting editor. Remember that you really are typing JavaScript with the addition of some special notation to reference the values of other fields within the form. And so the more you know about JavaScript, the more productive you can be. You can use any of the functions available within XFA forms or any built-in JavaScript functions. And you'll also notice that depending on your template, there are other functions that will be presented to you that you can insert into the calculation in order to provide greater value. And that is dynamically driven based on how we define your template. We will be expanding the capabilities of this scripting editor as well, and there are other videos that demonstrate how to use the scripting editor for other reasons such as calculations and validations.